What's up, guys? Back with another video. This is called my pros and cons of living in beautiful, hot Phoenix, Arizona. I originally moved here from Rochester, New York, almost, I want to say 8 years ago. With my son, we ended up coming down here. Well, let me rewind a little bit. I had a cousin living down here, and I was always visiting. I came down here. I was visiting a couple of times, and when I was visiting, I was coming in the winter. So I'm leaving New York in the snow and cold, coming down here. January, February, and it's beautiful. It's 75 degrees. The sun is out. And it was just a beautiful thing. So when the opportunity came, I was like, you know what? Let me just pack. We going to Phoenix. End up moving to Phoenix in August. Now, mind you, I'm thinking the weather here is always 75, 80. I even asked my cousin, said, it's always like this year round? He like, yeah, it's always like this. I ain't know nothing about it was gonna be 110, 120, 105 outside, hot. Like, it's dry heat though. The only way I can compare it is not muggy like New York and other places in the South. It's a dry heat. I only can compare it to like sticking your head in like the oven or having a hot blow dryer on it. That's the only way I can, articulate it. But anyway, we got down here in August. It was hot as a mug. So I'm telling my son, I said, don't worry, it's gonna cool off. Like I thought it was gonna, like in February and January, I was like, okay, it's hot during the day, nice. At night it cools, it got a breeze and everything. So I was telling my son, like, we're gonna jump in the pool when it cool off. No, it was still in the hundreds at night. It was still hot as heck at night. We go jump in the pool, it was like jumping in hot, boiling water. Crazy. It was not cool at all. But, when I first moved down here, I only had like $500. I just packed and we just came on faith. We just moved down here on faith. It was like, forget it, man. I always been that type, always been the type that'll just do something. I've been and I'm an Aries, so being spontaneous comes along with that, but sometimes I'm a little bit too spontaneous. You know what I mean? You gotta think and plan some things out, especially moving with a child. I had already had a job. I was doing asset protection at Walmart. So I transferred down here to the Walmart. So I already had that lined up, but I didn't have a vehicle. Public transportation is not, I'm thinking public transportation, like I'm from Rochester, New York. Public transportation is amazing. The bus goes anywhere you wanna go, always running. If you 15 minutes on the, 12 o'clock, 12:15, they just, they run constantly up there. So I'm thinking it's gonna be like that here. No, I think I waited like 2 hours for a bus ride down Arizona Ave when I could have walked. It was crazy. So I had to learn that public transportation is not the same down here like in New York. New York has one of the best public transportation systems that I know of, especially Rochester, New York. Trust me. Anybody from from New York, anywhere, comment down below. But, so I just came out here. The weather and everything was nice. You get acclimated with it being hot. My blood got thin after a couple of, I want to say probably like a year. My blood got thin, which means if it wasn't like 90, 75 outside, this is how crazy it is. It'll be 110 and then it'll drop down to 100. You'll be like, ooh, it got cool. Like, well, okay, that feel good. Like, damn, it only dropped 10 degrees or something like that, But here are some of the cons of living here. Then I'll get into the pros of living here. I want to get into the cons first. The first thing is making friends here. It's so hot in the valley. Nobody comes outside. Nobody knows anybody. People have been living in their communities 10 years, a year, 5 years. Nobody know nobody. So it's crazy. It's hard making friends, but if you can make a good group of friends down here, it's cool. But people just go from AC, which is the house, AC, which is a car, AC, which is a job, or AC back to your car, AC back home. That's it. Nobody hangs out and walks around, especially in the summertime. So it's really hard making friends, and I found that to be odd. Because where I'm from in New York, everybody know everybody. Neighborhood, everybody know everybody. Like, but here it's real hard unless you move into an apartment complex and you get a group of friends, y'all meet at the pool or something like that. But that's one con about living here. It's really hard to make friends down here. But you can, if you're active, you're going to the gym. A lot of people like to do things down here, but it's really hard initially when you get down here because you don't see anybody. It's too hot. Nobody's outside. Kids not outside riding bikes. None of that stuff. It's just too hot. Number 2, I've never seen so many accidents in my life here. And in the streets, in the highways, this is how they run. Some of the most smoothest running highway streets I've ever been in my life. And it's always an accident every day. And I don't understand it. Cars turned over and you just looking like, how the hell did that happen? I don't understand. There's no inclement weather. It's clear, but some of the accidents be crazy out here. The drivers are horrible. And I don't think they're just Arizona drivers. It's an eclectic group of people from everywhere. Might have Arizona license plates, but might be from Milwaukee or Chicago or New York or anywhere. Just people drive crazy. That's number 2. Number 3, the heat in the summertime. It is smoking hot. It's not too hot where you can't come outside, but it's hot. People stay in the house. It's hot at night. So, and I'm talking, 110, 105, 109, 115, 112. You know what I'm saying? I've been out here when it done hit a $119. You're like, oh my God. But you're not sweaty and sticky and muggy. It's still a dry heat, but nevertheless, it is hot out here. So you gotta stay hydrated moving out here. If you plan on moving to Arizona, you gotta stay hydrated. You see people walking around with these big gulps, these big cups. They going in the QT, shout out to QT, getting the big drinks, but they putting soda in there. You need to be putting some goddamn water in there. Lots of water, lots of Gatorade. Stay hydrated. I cannot stress that enough. How many times I see the fire department, and especially in the summer out here, pulled over to some bus stop, somebody is freaking over there dehydrated, almost dead, because they drinking the wrong thing. Especially a lot of the homeless, they drinking alcohol. You know what alcohol does to you in the heat. That heat hits you. It's not a good look. Cooks the inside of you, basically. So stay hydrated. Number 4. Okay, what did I go over? I went over, it's hard to make friends out here initially. The drivers and the heat. Number 4, the cost of living out here. When I first initially moved out here, rent was not as high as it is now. It's a lot. There's people out here paying damn near $3,500 for a freaking 1-bedroom apartment. I don't know if it's due to the people from California moving here, and they making money in California, so they still working in California online, getting that California money, but they come in Arizona, so it has skyrocketed the cost. We have the second highest gas prices in the country. Next to California, then it's Arizona. It's crazy. Rent is crazy. No matter where you go, it's crazy. But one thing you see out here, you'll see families living together. I'm talking about big extended families. You'll see 10 cars at one house. You'll be like, okay, that's how high rent is out here. It's crazy out here. Hopefully things can get back to normal and get better, but they popping up all these new buildings, and I don't see how people can afford to live in them. Paying that much money, for a freaking apartment is absolutely disgusting, personally. Now let's get into some of the cons of living out here in Arizona. Some of the pros of living out here in Arizona. Like I said about the weather in the wintertime, there's a caveat to that as well. which is the winter time. You can survive those couple living in hell summer months. Once it hits, I want to say, let's say November, end of October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Those months are amazing. You'll think you're on a freaking island out here. 75, 80. You know what I'm saying? High is 85, high is 75, high is 90. It's beautiful. Those, you know, and that's where you have this thing called, they call them snowbirds. A lot of people from the cold winter states, New York, Canada, Illinois, Detroit, you start seeing a lot of those license plates. Milwaukee, all those plates come here during those months. They call them snowbirds. And they come out here and they live during the winter, because the winter is actually our summer, and our summer is our winter hell, if that makes sense. Summer is hell out here, remember that. And winter is summer out here, because it's so beautiful during the winter time. It's so amazing. It get cold, but it's beautiful. You can just throw a hoodie on. You could still have shorts on. Be people in flip-flops. People out here that wear shorts year round. When I first moved out here, I was wearing shorts year round. My blood was still thick. I throw a hoodie on. I got some shorts on. I'm chilling. People out here with Uggs and, you know, coats on. I'm like, damn, bro, 75, you cold? Like, you must be from up north. Your blood's still thick. Just give it a minute. Your blood gonna get thin. It sure did get thin. But the weather in the wintertime is amazing out here. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Number 2, there's so much to do. Whether you're into, and this is probably where you can start making friends at. It's a lot of gyms out here. If you're into hiking, there's a lot of mountains and places out here. People go hiking and sightseeing. You can do a lot of camping out here. You can go up to Flagstaff. You can go up to Tucson and do some stuff. You can go to Lake Havasu. It's a lot of lakes here as well. You can do a lot of things, you know, get inside a lot of these groups. One good website is called The Neighborhood, I believe, where you can making friends and stuff like that. So with different interests, whether it be any of those things I named or something else. You got the aquarium, but there's always something to do out here. You got downtown Chandler. They just redid it. Looks like Miami at night. They got Tempe, Mill Ave. They got Scottsdale, of course. You got downtown Gilbert. It's a lot of things there to do. They got downtown Mesa. Mesa's nice. It's coming up out there. They got a lot of stuff out there as well. They got Glendale. Love going out to Glendale's city vibe. You're gonna see people doing stuff out there. Glendale is real nice. Am I forgetting anywhere else? That's about it. But you can, it's things to do. Lots of things to do out here, no matter what you're into. The nightlife, jazz bars, clubs, First Fridays at American Legion. If you're looking to network with people on that level, they have a lot of malls out here. So that's a pro as well. Another pro, if you're family oriented and you're moving here with your family, you have kids. When I had my son in New York, I didn't let him go to parks. I didn't let him hang out because there's too much going on. Kids could be playing and they freaking do a drive-by, or they shooting dice in the park. Out here, there's so many parks. I think Arizona has the most parks out of, and you can fact check me on this, out of any other place in the country. There's parks everywhere. Beautiful parks, I'm talking. When I say parks in these communities, I'm talking full soccer fields, full volleyball courts, full tennis courts, full baseball fields. These are in parks in these communities. Amazing. I should have walked around and got some footage of some of these parks. But there's beautiful parks out here in every community. Beautiful parks. So kids can go there to be safe out here. Kids, they being kids out here. They not, I'm sure there's some that's getting in a lot of crap or whatever. But for the majority part of it, Kids just being kids out here. They playing at parks. They enjoying themselves. They can be safe out here. It's very safe out here, in my opinion. Coming from where I'm coming from, I'm just speaking from how I grew up. Very safe. Like you don't pull up to the gas station, you see 30 dudes hanging out. Yo, I got this. Yo, what you need? It ain't like that. You pull up, handle your business, get your gas, do whatever you gotta do, and you keep it moving. Very clean out here. And that's another thing. It's so clean out here. It is so freaking clean out here. You can walk around barefoot. I'm talking no glass, no trash, no cigarette butts, no litter bugs, no, it's immaculate. I don't know how they do it. I think everybody just, when you come here, you get a sense of respect for the whatever community you are. And I've been all over this place. It is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, there's some places that might have, some trash and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's immaculate. You come here and you ride through Tempe, you ride through Glendale, you ride through Phoenix, you ride through Chandler, you ride through Mesa. The streets are freaking clean as a whistle. Unlike where I'm from, glass, all type of shit everywhere, cigarette butts, all that. It's not like that. Here, it's super clean. A lot of people take pride in where they live, in their neighborhood. It's very clean out here. That's one thing I can say. Last but not least, out here, which is one of my favorites, because I used to do this as a kid. They have a beautiful drive-in theater where you could take whatever you want. You pull up, you can bring food, you got a cooler, bring your stuff. It's in Glendale. Bring your chairs, go out there, chill, have your cocktail. That's one of my favorites. I'm just throwing that out there. Haven't been in a while. I just take my son all the time. They got the game room for the kids. It's beautiful. They also have, in the wintertime, they have Glendale glitter, Glendale lights. They have the state fair. Those are some of the pros that I like living out here. But if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment, let me know if I missed anything. If you're in the Phoenix area, let me know where you at. Did I cover everything? I think I kind of covered most of it. I'm not sure if I did or not, but those are some of the pros and cons that I'm just speaking for me, that I personally feel about living in beautiful, hot Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you guys for rocking with me. If you want to help support the channel, let the channel help me grow this channel, you want to hit the Cash App. Is MS Detailing. If you want to shout out, whatever you can do to support the channel. Again, that is BMS Detailing.
Correction, that's $BMS Mobile. Again, $BMS Mobile.
Subscribe. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys for taking your time out to watch this video. Again, have a blessed day. And this is No Anonymity TV. I love y'all. Peace, love, and stay positive. I'm gone.